Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 39 of the best sports show out, Highly Opinionated. I'm your co-host, Josh. Ladies and gentlemen, that guy right there, JG. What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
My boy Jay, what up, Ross? What's going on with y'all, man?
Man,
We good, man. We good. We can't complain. How you, man?
Life is good, man. Can't complain over here.
I hear that, man. Life is full of ups and downs, bro. You take the good with the bad, the ups with the downs, bro. We know how life is, man. I'm glad to see everything's good on your end. Ladies and gentlemen, the best producer, the best editor, the best guy here on Highly Opinionated, Ross. What's up, my brother?
what's good, Josh? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Can't complain. Had a nice weekend weather, nice little cookout. So I'm definitely ready to get back to some sports.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. I'm glad everything's good with you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for watching, tuning in to episode 38, Highly Opinionated. We appreciate all the love and support. We appreciate you for tuning in to this show, episode 39 of Highly Opinionated. Again, we love all the fan support. We love all the support, likes, comments, subscribing, etc. We appreciate you guys. Look forward to having you guys on the show, and we are very, very thankful for that interaction with you guys. Again, you guys make Highly Opinionated what it is. So every show, I'm always say thank you for you guys for reaching out, watching, supporting, and we look forward for the banner, the good sports talk banner that we have every day in sports. In this thing we watch called sports. Ross, let them know where they can follow us on our social media.
Yes, sir. As y'all can see on the screen, you can follow us on Instagram at highly opinionated __. Follow us on TikTok at highly opinionated _SS. And follow us on Twitter or X at highly O_SS. And y'all already on the YouTube, so go ahead and make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, and we will comment back.
Absolutely, absolutely. JG, you ready to get episode jam-packed, episode 39 started, my brother?
Yes, sir. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. Let's start off with some NFL news. Just around the NFL news and notes of what's going on around the league. Let's start off with the NFL. They decided not to ban the tush push. So the Eagles get not just the Eagles. The NFL has the ability to run the tush push next season. What are your thoughts on that?
We're right there. You said the Eagles like to start off mistakenly, but this was about the Eagles because other than maybe the Buffalo Bills, nobody really has successfully been this good at the tush push other than the Eagles. So everyone around the league got pissed off. They think like, hey, it's a play that we can't stop. So let's figure out a way to get rid of it so it kind of levels the playing field. Well, my thing is, on one hand, I get it. Okay, we can't stop it. We might as well get rid of it, right? But on the other hand, it's like, okay, look, the Eagles figure out a play that is legal, and you're just pissed off because you couldn't stop it. Find a way to stop it versus like being petty and like saying, hey, let's find a way to just get this play out of the NFL altogether. Making up all these things about it's a dangerous play or it's an unfair play. Like, it's really just all a bunch of BS, in my opinion. So for me, it's just, look, find a way to stop it. I mean, you can be pissed off that you can't stop it, but find a way to get it done. I mean, I think there is a way to stop it. I mean, and on offense, find a way to do the same thing. If you maybe don't use your quarterback, do what the Ravens do. The Ravens use Mark Andrews a lot with plays like that. You can do it that way. Not everyone has a big, strong quarterback like Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen. But every team has the ability to do the same thing. So figure it out and then find a way to stop it. That's where I'm at with it.
Before I give you my opinion on it, I'm going to tell you the 10 teams that voted to save the tush push. Obviously, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Baltimore Ravens, the Cleveland Browns, the Detroit Lions, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Miami Dolphins, the New England Patriots, the New Orleans Saints, the New York Jets, and the Tennessee Titans. Those 10 teams voted to keep the tush push alive. One more note on the tush push. The Philadelphia Eagles, there's only one team that the Philadelphia Eagles play this year that voted to save it, which I mentioned, which is the Detroit Lions. The rest of the teams on their schedule voted against the tush push, ironically, right? I'm in agreement with you. I think it's a play for everyone to run. It's not just for the Eagles. I'll give you a perfect example. The Indianapolis Colts, this year they have Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. Whichever one of those guys whichever one of those guys wins the starting quarterback job, they could easily run the tush push, especially Anthony Richardson. He's strong. He's athletic. You can just push him, Jonathan Taylor right behind him with that big, massive offensive line that the Colts have. They could run that play as well, as good as the Philadelphia Eagles. So I think the NFL is crying, like you said, crying baby, because they can't stop one play. The Eagles shouldn't be penalized because they learn how to run that one play better than everyone else. It's like teams that play man-to-man. The team shouldn't be penalized because you're a better man-to-man team than you are a zone team. Learn how to be a better zone team. Learn how to be a better man team. Learn how to run the play or learn how to stop the play. I've seen the Tampa Bay Buccaneers stop the play a couple times. So learn how to stop it. Get the defensive lineman, get the linebackers, get everybody you need up on the line of scrimmage, get your leverage right, and learn how to stop the play. They don't do this in the training camp, but I think teams that play, especially teams that play the Eagles, they should practice this play. They should practice how to try to stop the play. They should practice not only on both, like I said, they should practice on both sides, how to run the play and how to stop the play. And if they did that, then I think everything would be, then I think it would be more teams would be willing to keep the play. But it's not the Philadelphia play. It's really a quarterback sneak. Really, in essence, this play happened years ago if I'm not mistaken, 2005, 2006, when USC played Notre Dame. Reggie Bush basically, it's not the same kind of way, but basically Reggie Bush pushed Matt Leinart into the end zone to score a touchdown. So for me, learn how to stop the play, learn how to be better at the play, and everything will be fine.
That's a good nugget of information. I actually didn't know that, so I definitely learned something there. And I'm a Ravens fan. I watched the Eagles do it against the Ravens this past season, so it's like, hey, it sucks, but when it happens against you, but it's still football. It's still legal. Like, there's no such thing as an unstoppable play, in my opinion, in any sport. You got to figure out a way to stop it. That's just bottom line.
I agree. You gotta find a way to stop it. You gotta find a way to stop whining about a play. Y'all grown ass NFL players, physical type players, stop whining about one play. Learn how to stop it or learn how to adapt it into your offense. You're gonna have to, at some point in time, you're gonna have to play the Eagles. They're gonna run that play, whether it's 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, or at the goal line. Learn how to stop it. Stop whining. Next, the NFL owners have officially approved for the NFL players to participate in flag football in the 2028 Summer Olympics. I'll start us off with this. I am looking forward to this. I think NFL players will relish at the opportunity to win a gold medal or try to compete to win a gold medal. You look at basketball players. Look at the best basketball players we think of. Most of them all have gold medals. Whether they won it back in the day where you had to play collegiate basketball, you was a collegiate college player, and then in '92 they let the United States bring their professionals in. So I'm happy for the NFL players. I could definitely see a team that Lamar Jackson, like this, the Olympics is in Los Angeles in 2028. I could see a team with Lamar Jackson. I could see a team with Justin Jefferson. You only can pick one player from each team. So obviously I think they'll, make the right selections. I think a lot of guys probably want to sit out. Some guys probably like Mahomes, Josh Allen, somebody like that. But somebody like Lamar, like skill players, I feel like would benefit the most. So I'm really looking forward to the 2028 flag football with the NFL players playing in it. And again, for me, I'm going to say it again. My first pick would be Lamar Jackson at quarterback because I just think it would be crazy. Obviously, he can't run around, but his ability, that if he has the ability to run around, you're not going to be able to just grab him with a flag. Like, it's going to be ridiculous. So I'm looking forward to that. And I think Team USA will win the gold. I think that's safe to say. So
yeah. Imagine line up with Lamar Jackson, and then here comes Tyreek Hill streaking across the lane, like streaking across the field. Like, good luck figuring out where the ball is, and then good luck catching one of them. Because all it takes is one wrong false move for a second, and you're probably not going to catch them. So that's going to be unfair, but. Good for him. Good for the USA. Good for Team USA. This should have happened a long time ago. NFL players being a part of the flag football. I mean, we've had NBA players forever with with Team USA in Olympic basketball. Why have we not had that for football? Who knows? But no time like the present. So I'm happy that this is happening. There's been a few rumblings from Olympians who play flag football. Kind of not happy about it. And I want to preface my comments by saying, look, I have nothing but respect for Olympians. You pound the pavement, work your butt off for so long just for this one event that happens every 4 years. I get it, but I feel like we shouldn't be. There shouldn't be negative feelings towards this, if you will. Because like it's not like we're taking away from the game. It's like we're improving it. We're bringing more eyes to it. Say what you want about the Olympics. Like people love watching stars. These are the best football players, some of the best athletes in the world who are very good at the sport of football, whether it's flag football or tackle football. They should definitely be a part of this because, I mean, again, it brings more attention to the global sporting event that is the Olympics. So I think this is a great thing for really everyone, and there shouldn't be any negativity spewed to it.
Yeah, I don't think there should be any negativity spewed to it. I get it. Like a lot of guys who train for flag football, they feel like their spots might be taken. But like you said, I'm like the Olympics is about star power. It's about magnitude. It's about like, are you going to watch this person? Like Team USA swimming back in the day, they didn't watch. They watched the swimming team, but they wanted to watch the men's team to watch Michael Phelps. The basketball, they wanted to watch Kobe, LeBron, Jason Kidd, Dwayne Wade, Chris Paul, Darren Williams. Could they all come together in 2008? Dwight Howard, so Carmelo Anthony, the Dream Team, exactly. Magic, Bird, Michael. So I don't think we can find a way where though we can have NFL players and still have. The team doesn't have to be full of NFL players, but the fact that you can have some NFL players on the team, that's definitely good. That's definitely good, and it can make those flag football players better because they're around NFL pros. So they'll it's not the same game, but they'll watch the preparation of a Tyreek Hill, or Lamar Jackson, or Patrick Mahomes, or Travis Kelce, etc. Whoever wants to play. So I don't think it should be looked down to. I actually think it should be celebrated. The fact that we're going to have NFL players, potentially superstar players in the NFL, doing something in the summertime other than going to basketball games, other than just working out. It's actually kind of neat and kind of fun. So,
agreed.
Next, around the NFL, we have Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers. So, as of now, the Pittsburgh Steelers still don't have a starting quarterback. They're still waiting for the services of the great Aaron Rodgers. I might need to emphasize past tense, the great Aaron Rodgers, but they're still waiting for Aaron Rodgers, neither more. However, there's a report that came out that's saying that the Steelers don't land Aaron Rodgers, they'll be interested in trying to land Kirk Cousins. What are your thought process on the Steelers quarterback situation that they find themselves in right now?
Or you know what, man? I love this offseason from the Steelers right now. I love this. First off, you're still waiting for a 41-year-old quarterback to maybe say, you know what, I'm good. Or you know what, I'll come play. You're waiting on that. And then your backup plan to that first plan is, you know what, it'd be a great idea. Let's go trade for Kirk Cousins, a guy who just lost his job to then rookie quarterback Michael Penix Jr., another stationary target that can't move. So now you're talking about a quarterback room with Mason Rudolph, Skylar Thompson, and maybe Kirk Cousins. Oh man! Listen, the reason I'm laughing is because, like, yes, I hate the Pittsburgh Steelers with a passion. I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. This is gold for me. I hope that Aaron Rodgers at the very last day says, you know what, I'm good. I'm just going to retire. Or you know what, even better, I hope he plays. I hope he signs with the Steelers, and I hope the Steelers go ahead and get Kirk Cousins too. So this Steelers fans can go ahead and stick their chest out like we're the 6-time Super Bowl champions. I mean, yeah, you guys have been around for 200 years. Like if you don't have 6 championships by now, that's a bigger problem in my opinion. So yeah, go ahead and stick your chest out, Steelers fans. Go into the season with Will Howard, Mason Rudolph, Aaron Rodgers, and let's see how scary you are. Spoiler alert, you're not going to be scary. You're still you might actually be competing for last place in the division. This saying.
So I was just going to ask you that. So I'm not asking you for a pick of the AFC North, but I think it's safe to say you think the Ravens and the Bengals are the 2 best teams in the AFC North. Is that correct?
That's correct. Okay,
so again, not asking you for a pick. Yeah. For who's going to win the division, but I will ask you right now, currently constructed, if they just obviously they're not playing a game this Sunday, but if they had to play a game this Sunday, I actually think the Steelers would be in last place because they don't have a serviceable quarterback on the roster. I think the Browns would be in third place. You have Joe Flacco, you have Kenny Pickett, and then you have the 2 young guys. So you have 4 quarterbacks. I think they'll release one of those guys. It's really ironic. Mention the funny thing about you saying about if Aaron Rodgers says he doesn't want to come there, like, hey, I'll retire. It's so ironic that I think the Browns will probably cut Kenny Pickett. So Kenny Pickett will be a free agent, and they could if Aaron Rodgers is not there, they ultimately could re-sign Kenny Pickett if they really wanted to. They might have to in that type of situation. You're laughing, but I'm dead serious when I say that. Like, they might have to if Aaron Rodgers.
Bro, I'm laughing because that really could actually happen. Like, that really could actually happen. Oh my God. I love this. I love it.
Let me speak on Kim Folk Kirk. That's what I used to call him. Kim Folk. I used to call better yet, I changed his name. I used to change his name. I used to call him Kim Folk Kirk, right? Kim Folk. He's a good family man, family folk. You feel me? He gonna do right by me. He gonna throw the interception that I need him to throw with it. Because I like Tampa Bay. So I was like last year looking at Kirk Cousins stats, he had 18 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. That's the Kim Folk Kirk Cousins I know. But I changed his name. It's not his name no more. We changed his name from Kim Folk Kirk to Counterfeit Kirk. Because we know what we get. We paid all that money, and that's all fake dollar bills. We knew exactly and let me tell you something. The Falcons knew what they didn't have. That's why they drafted the quarterback in the first round after paying him, giving that man all that money. They knew what he was. They knew it was counterfeit. He was no longer Kinfolk.
Then why do it if you knew that?
Well, let me say this. The Falcons, they messed up. I will say this about the Steelers, though. Out of all their options that's left, he might be the best option. And you can laugh all you want. One of these quarterbacks are going to have I don't want to say a comeback player of the year type of season. One of these quarterbacks that we think are, middle of the road or below average is going to have a good to great year. I just think with the Steelers, just hear me out. I just think with the Steelers and the way they play and the way they're going to run the ball and try to play defense, he's not a bad option for them to have at the starting quarterback position. I'll say this. I learned my lesson last year. Even though I just called him Counterfeit Kirk, if you can't get Aaron Rodgers, he's the next best option. I'd rather have Aaron Rodgers one, but if you can't get Aaron, he's the next best option. And you can't go into the season, like you said, with Will Howard, Mason Rudolph. You can't do that. Like, this defense, they gave up last year because they didn't believe because the offense wasn't right. You feel me? They gave up last year. You saw in the playoff game, they lost 34-17 to the Baltimore Ravens. I remember I was out at a bar watching that game, and I was out with my girl, so we watching it, and it was 7-0. And I got up. I'm like, I'm ready to go. Like, I'm leaving. Like, this game's over. I tweeted. I said the Steelers' offense is offensive to watch, and I know the defensive players felt that. They felt it. So you can't go into the season with Will Howard, Mason Rudolph. No. So I think the Steelers starting quarterback will be Aaron Rodgers, even though he's an enigmatic type of guy. He's all over the place at times. But I think that starting quarterback will be him. If they can't get Aaron Rodgers, go out and get Kirk Cousins. Again, 9 to 10 wins in the AFC. You could be the 7th seed in the AFC playoffs.
You think the Steelers are going to get 9 wins?
I mean, let me say this. I think they'll hover around. They'll be between, I think they'll hover around 8, 9, 9, and 8. Mike Tomlin, I know people get tired of these. People get tired of people saying this. He's never had a losing season. And
Mike Tomlin can't fix this.
I give you that. But he's had worse quarterbacks. He's had either the same level quarterbacks or worse quarterbacks than what he has currently now. And what we think they will have. Because I think they'll have Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins.
That's because the defense bailed them out. And that defense that has bailed out Mike Tomlin all these years is getting older. Cameron Hayward is getting older. TJ Watt wants a new contract, hasn't even gotten that yet. How do we even know that he's not going to hold out, first of all? And if you don't have TJ Watt, you have nothing. Let's get that.
And I agree with you on that. And they agree with you on that. They are going to pay TJ Watt before week 1. He will be on the field week 1 when the Steelers play at the Jets. He will be at that game. So I'm just saying, like, I'm not picking the Steelers to make the playoffs. I'm just saying I'm looking at it from their lenses. Like, you can't go into the season with no one. So if you can't get Aaron Rodgers, which is the best option in my opinion, go out there and get Kirk Cousins. Trade a 4th round pick or 5th round pick, make the Falcons eat majority of the salary, and trade for Kirk Cousins. He'll be a starting quarterback. And whatever happens, happens. I'll say this. One last thing on the Steelers. The problem that they have is that they're literally average. So they can't have the first pick and they won't win the Super Bowl. So they're literally stuck in the middle of average. That's the problem that they have. They can't just tank. They can't do that. They like the Steelers are not going to go 1-15.
They haven't won a playoff game in almost a decade.
I know.
And it's the best part is ESPN really showed highlights of Mason Rudolph playing the Ravens when we literally didn't play any of our starters. That was his highlight. Good luck this year, Steelers.
You talking about that? You talking about that Saturday game a couple years ago at 4:30 when Lamar set out and everybody said, I know he's talking about. It was an ESPN game.
The rainy monsoon of a game, and then that's Mason Rudolph's highlight. Good luck, Steelers. I can't trust me. I will be watching. Let's move on, man. Let's move on.
Yes, we will. We will. Let's end this segment on a bitter, sad note. The Colts owner, Jim Irsay, he passed away last week. Jim Irsay, in my opinion, he was a player's owner. He did right by his players. He drafted Peyton Manning, most notably with the number 1 draft pick in the 1998 NFL draft. You could just see his players come out, executives come out, people that worked with him with the Indianapolis Colts come out and say kind words about him. So I just want to say rest in peace to Jim Irsay. He really stood out to me for 2 things. He changed his perception of his name. If you remember, his father, Bob Irsay, was the guy who took the Baltimore Colts and he basically moved them from Baltimore to the Indianapolis. And he was like one of the most hated owners in the NFL. And when Jim took over, he kind of like changed that. Whereas though the Colts started to be like the lovable Colts. Whereas though, they had Peyton, they had Edgerrin James, they had Marvin Harrison, they had Reggie Wayne, they had Dwight Freeney. They had some guys that, you started to like. And then the second thing I know most will remember about Jim Irsay in the NFL is that he was one of the few owners back in the day who came out against Daniel Snyder very early. He was like, man, we need to get this guy out of here. Like, he's no good. Like, he's tainting the game. He's tainting us as owners, stuff like that. So, he like I said, he was a player's owner. He was a good owner. And for me, rest in peace to Jim Irsay.
Yeah, it was. He was dealing with some health issues, I think, for the past year or so. I was still very shocked. And like you said, player's owner. What I didn't know was that was pretty awesome to know. Like, he became a general manager like in his mid-20s. Way back in I think 1984. And you just don't see. It's very rare to see something like that. Like, a 20-some-year-old becoming a general manager of an NFL team. Like, I thought that was pretty awesome. Deeply involved in the community. Did everything he could, like, to contribute to the economic development and the social well-being of the Indianapolis area. And he was very open about his addiction and abuse history. So he really wanted to, like, shed light on mental health awareness and make sure that he did what he could to, give funding and guidance to that. Because, as we know, like, especially with men, mental health is something that, is not talked about often. We try to conceal it from time to time. Just that's kind of how, like, the nature has been. But from a football perspective, I mean, Jim Irsay just, he didn't tolerate, mediocrity. He didn't tolerate, rebuilding years. He wanted to do everything he could to make sure that the Colts were relevant each and every year as much as he could. So definitely rest in peace to Jim Irsay. It's a great example of a good man and a very good owner.
Yes, absolutely. So again, all of us here are highly opinionated. Send our best wishes to the Irsay family, the Colts family. Rest in peace to Jim Irsay. I'm going to take a quick break here. Highly Opinionated. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Highly Opinionated is brought to you by Edibly Airy. Enjoy the heightened experience of THC edibles in a whole new way. At Edibly Airy, our freeze-dry edibles available in 100 milligram, 200 milligram, 300 milligram, 400 milligram will give you the buzz you crave with a flavor you won't forget. Available in 3 different flavors: watermelon sunset, tropical fruit, and very berry. To place orders, please visit the website at ediblyairy.com. While you're there at ediblyairy.com, use a promotion code. You guys see the promotion code on the screen. $ Highly Airy, $. Again, $ Highly Airy, $ for 20% off your first purchase. Follow us on IG at Edibly Airy for new product releases and monthly hookups. Must be 21 and over to purchase. Edibly Airy, the best freeze-dry edibles out. Go shop. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Highly Opinionated. It's about that time, the best segment in sports. This week's edition of Let's Talk About It is one of the Morris twins. Floor is yours, sir. Take it away.
What are the chances the Pacers blow this?
Listen, the Pacers is not a great team. They're a good team and they're well, put together. But as we've seen, going up 20 in the past, great teams are putting this game away. None of these teams that are left are great teams. Anything can happen. I would say.
Even OKC?
Yeah, I think they were a great team on paper. Like as far as like their system, as far as like being really good on defense, right? Like that's great about them. But when we talk about great team, we talking about like the Golden State Warriors, we talking about the Boston Celtics, like we talking about teams like that, right? Like that's been proven, that's lost, that's been back to that mountaintop. I just always feel like the Knicks still have a chance, and they're 6-1 on the road. I have to keep going back to that. Like they're 6 on the road. They know how to win on the road. Yes, it may be ugly, and yes, they may have to go down 20 first to wake up, but they have a great chance of winning the series still.
Marcus Morris. Before we get started, I always get Marcus and Marquise confused. Like you see them together, it's like it's hard to tell one from the other. Obviously, the different hairstyles in that clip. These guys are they're doing a media wash on ESPN. They're doing Get Up, they're doing First Take, so they have to give opinions. So Marcus Morris was the guy that was just speaking. He said that he doesn't think there are. He said he doesn't think that there are like
no great teams left in the playoffs.
No great teams, no dominant teams left in the playoffs. Obviously, I can tell that you're chomping at the bit at this. JG, the floor is yours, bro. Take it away.
Before I start, Marcus Morris, you played in the NBA. You a 13, 14-year vet. You know what you're talking about, bro. Like I can't speak on anything NBA because I didn't play in the NBA. I did play D1 college basketball. I never made it to the league. So you got more experience in that than I do. This is a guy that watches basketball a lot. I think this is one of the craziest things I've ever heard anybody say on TV. You're saying that because the Knicks, the Thunder, the Wolves, and the Pacers are left, that they're not a great team. Bro, they're in the Final Four for a reason. They got to the conference finals for a reason. Now, we can talk about the Knicks, having some luck or whatever because Jason Tatum got hurt. But before Jason Tatum got hurt, the Celtics were healthy. They were, they had their big guns out there. And they were up big in games 1 and 2. Knicks probably could have lost about 30 or something like that. That didn't happen. The Knicks came back in both games. Were better in clutch time. They beat Boston legit. So that's not a sign of a great team. The Indiana Pacers, after everyone was talking about them last year, talking about last year was a fluke. They won't get out of the first round. They definitely not get into the conference finals. They only got there because Giannis and Dame were hurt. All right, well, the Bucks for the most part had Giannis and Dame and a fully loaded Milwaukee Bucks team. Beat them heavily. The Cleveland Cavaliers, who won 66 games, right? Number 1 seed in the East all year long. Everybody was talking about
I'm sorry. The Cavaliers were 64-18.
I'm sorry, 64 wins, and everyone was talking about they got a legit chance to go back to the finals. They were by and large pretty much they had all their guys. I know Garland was out for a couple of games, and Evan Mobley got hurt for a game or two, but I'm here to tell you that it's rare when a team is actually fully healthy this time of year. Everybody is dealing with something. You're not going to be healthy after playing an 82-game season. When the playoffs get here, every team has something that they're dealing with. Everyone. It's just a matter of pain tolerance and injury management. Can you deal with it or can you not? It's a luck of the draw if you're healthy in the playoffs. It really is. In any sport. You got to think about that. So we're not going to use the injury bug with that either because I'm not going to do it. If you want to do that for Cleveland, I'm not. No, you won 64 games. You're the number 1 seed. You should have got it done. You didn't. Indiana came in there and beat you. What else we got? The Wolves. They took out LeBron, Luka, and the Lakers, a team that everybody was raving about saying, oh, yeah, LeBron about to get his 5th ring. Can't nobody beat the Lakers in the West. Hell, I was one of the guys that I'm a Laker fan openly, so I'll say everything. I was out here saying, yeah, we might be going to the at least the Western Conference Finals. I'm out here saying, oh, Minnesota, Weekend and Nola, Pepsi Cola, Lakers in 5. That was me. So Lakers ain't a great team. Did Minnesota not just curb stomp them in 5 games? That's not the sign of a great team. Then they take out the Warriors. I know Steph Curry was injured. He hurt his hamstring. I get it. But like I just said, we are not going to be using the injury bug. It's the playoffs. After an 82-game season, you are lucky if your team is healthy. Things happen. Every team's dealing with something. Jimmy Butler was supposed to be this guy that the Warriors brought in to at least get you a game, to spare Steph Curry maybe one game so you can come back. He didn't get it done. That's not on the Wolves. They did what a great team is supposed to do. A team is down bad, you stomp on them. You give them no life. That's what a great team does. That's what the Wolves did. Last team I didn't mention was the Oklahoma City Thunder. You got to be out of your mind if you think this Oklahoma City team is not great. The best record in the league all year long. Nobody was catching them in the Western Conference. No one. They have the MVP in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They got a bunch of dogs on that team on defense and offense. Lou Dort and Alex Caruso are a terror on the court together. Ask Anthony Edwards, who I love and still believe he's a superstar. They were giving him hell last night. He had nowhere to go. So you got Chet Holmgren, who's a 7-footer, can put the ball on the floor, can shoot just as well as any guard out there. You got Hartenstein, who's a man-child on the boards. You got Jalen Williams, an excellent number 2, and then you got the MVP. That's not a great team? What are you talking about? The real thing is, because LeBron James, because Steph Curry, because the Boston Celtics aren't playing right now, the viewership is down. Because you know why? It's a whole bunch of casual-ass basketball fans that don't really watch the game, don't appreciate the storylines that we have right now. All they worry about is the popular teams, the Lakers, Golden State, Boston, LeBron James. The marketable megastars aren't playing right now, so they're not gonna watch basketball. I feel bad for them because you're missing out on some great basketball. You're missing out on watching history right now. One of these 4 teams is going to get their first championship. Like with the guys that are playing on this team right now, they're going for their first championship. The New York Knicks, a team that I laughed at all year long. They in the conference final for the first time since 2000. They got a chance to go to the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999 on the back of a dude that people said would never be anything close to a superstar. Laughed at the fact that they called him the Knicks savior and Jalen Brunson. Look what he's doing. He's doing some of the best closing work that I've seen in the playoffs since Kobe Bryant, and I mean that, like Kobe Bryant type closing. We got Tyrese Halliburton, a guy that continues to get disrespected, called the most overrated player in the NBA. Look what he's doing right now with this team. This Indiana Pacers team is boring to watch because they don't have that bona fide superstar that makes you, turn your TV and say, hey, I want to go see this guy play. He's playing. Let me turn the TV. Let me make sure I schedule, make sure I watch them. They don't have that guy, but they play so freaking well together. It's beautiful basketball. If you are a true hooper and a true basketball fan, you love this type of basketball. Rick Carlisle, championship level coach, showing you again why he is a champion. And who else? I mean, the Wolves. Anthony Edwards is trying to make a statement after losing the way that he did last year against Luka and Kyrie. It's not looking good right now against Oklahoma City, but you love seeing a new team, a new star try to take over. And the Oklahoma City Thunder, man, like, forget about it. They have the MVP, a guy who I thought should have won it last year. And he's shown you time and time again why he should have been MVP all along, and never should have been a race. He's making it look so easy right now. The statement by Marcus Morris, with all due respect, he played in the league. He understands. He knows what he's talking about. I'm not challenging that. I think that this statement right here was a little disrespectful to the 4 teams that are vying for their first championship. Take it away.
Woo. A lot there to unpack. I agree with your premise. And let me start off the way you start off. I've never played in the NBA. I've never played D1 college basketball. I've never played in the NFL. I've never played D1 college football. I think people that watch me or watch the show watch us, not just me, watch us. Like, I feel like we're objective. Yes, I have my favorites. I like basketball. I love Kawhi Leonard. He's not the best player in the NBA. He's not a top 5 player in the NBA. He's not a top 10 player in the NBA. You feel me? Part of that is because of health. Part of that is because of age. Part of that is because of situation. So however you want to look at it, like, we can be objective about players and things that we like. So Marcus Morris, I've never played in the NBA. Let me repeat that again. So I don't want to disrespect a former NBA player, or anyone that goes on TV that's associated with the game that feels like they know the game better than I know the game or better than you know the game. But I will agree with you. I don't necessarily think the Knicks are a great team. I don't think the Pacers are a great team. I think they have very good parts. I don't think the Timberwolves are a great team. I think they have very good parts. There's no way you can tell me the Oklahoma City Thunder are not a great team. They were the number 1 seed last year in the West. They were the number 1 seed last year in the West. They lost in the second round in the playoffs to Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. That's not a bad duo to lose to. This year they won 68 games. They played 82 games. That means they lost 14 games the whole season. The whole season. They were the number 1 seed this year going into the playoffs. And people, including me, including you picked the Lakers. I picked the Clippers. Other people picked the Warriors. Other people picked Minnesota. I know 1 or 2 people picked Minnesota. So, like, Oklahoma City never gets their respect. And part of the reason why they never get their respect is like what you said. Jalen Williams, J-Dub, is not the most sexiest number 2 option, but he gets the job done. He had 31 points in game 4, a key game 4 on the road at Minnesota in the Western Conference Finals. Chet Holmgren. Yeah, he's not Wemby. That's fine. He doesn't have to be Wembanyama. Wembanyama is the number 1, number 2 option on this team. It's some nice. Chet Holmgren is the number 4 option on this team. So he just needs to play his role. I love this Oklahoma City team. I think they are a great team. They were talking today about could Oklahoma. I know it's premature, but could Oklahoma City be a dynasty? You're damn right they could be a dynasty because they have the draft picks to be a dynasty. They have the assets to be a dynasty. They have low-cost contracts to be a dynasty.
Josh,
so everything. Go ahead.
Josh, sorry to interrupt. The three best players are 26, 24, and 23 years old. And look what they've done in the past 2 years. And they're not
paying. Now they're gonna have to pay Shea relatively soon, but they're not paying Chet Holmgren. They're not paying Jalen Williams. So this Oklahoma City team to me is a great team. Oklahoma City, like I said in the last episode and the previous episode before that, we disrespected Oklahoma City the whole year, me included. I picked the Clippers to go to the finals.
Me too.
That means I thought they were going to beat Oklahoma City. So again, I thought some people thought Memphis would give them a series in the first round. Now, obviously, John Morant got hurt. We get that. But still, Memphis wasn't going to give them a series. You could watch the first game and see that. So, for me, I don't think the Knicks, I don't think the Pacers, and I don't think Minnesota, I don't think those 3 teams are great teams. I think Oklahoma City is a great team and definitely can be a great team going into the future with the assets that they have. And that GM, Sam Presti, I mean, man. This man drafted Russell Westbrook, drafted James Harden, drafted Kevin Durant, drafted Chet Holmgren, drafted Jaden Williams, traded to get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, robbed the Clippers. So, I mean, Sam Presti is going to have those guys in position to be as competitive as they can be. And like I said, with the assets that they have, man, they're going to be right there. They're going to be right there at the top of the West for the foreseeable future, in my opinion.
But here's my thing that's different about, with the great team thing. In the NFL playoffs, the best team doesn't always win. It's a one and done tournament. You can have a bad day and then it can cost you your season in the playoffs. Trust me, I'm a Ravens fan, so I know what that feels like to have a bad day. But in the NBA, you got to beat a team 4 times out of 7. That's not easy. You can have a bad night, even 2 nights, but you got to beat a team 4 times. So for me, the NBA playoffs, the way it's structured, tells me that the best teams always get to however far they get to. The best team usually wins. You don't see a lot of Cinderella stories about a team that is undermanned or coming in with a losing record and winning 16 games and winning a championship. That's damn near impossible. Whereas at the NCAA tournament, the NFL playoffs, you can see stuff like that happening. When it's a series, to me, the better team usually wins the series, in my opinion.
No, absolutely. And I want to hit on one thing that you said when you were speaking before. Viewership could be down. Again, that's like you said, that's casualism. That's, LeBron's not playing, the Lakers not playing, Steph's not playing, Tatum, the Celtics are eliminated, et cetera, et cetera. I'm agreeing with you. This NBA playoffs has been amazing. And we'll obviously speak further more on the playoffs to end the show, but this playoffs has been amazing. You would be foolish to not watch these games. Because these games has ebb and flows and different things and different strategies that are very, very important and are keen to watch. And it's great basketball. The referees are letting them play. They're letting them be physical. They're letting them
Yes.
You know, they're letting them play basketball. So for me, you would be foolish not to watch these playoffs. And again, like you said, my bad, cut you off one more thing. Like you said, Tyrese Halliburton, Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson. I know I'm forgetting another star. Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP. One of these four players are going to win their first ever NBA championship. That's not something to watch. That's not something to root for. One of these four players is not the Lakers. It's not the Clippers. It's not the Miamis. It's not the Knicks. It's not. There's the Knicks. It's not Brooklyn. It's not three of the four teams are small markets. Indiana, Oklahoma City, and Minnesota are small markets. The only big market team is the Knicks. So this is great basketball to me. And like I said, I just feel like Marcus Morris, again, I respect your NBA acumen, but if you want to say three of the teams are not great, that's fine. But the Thunder, they are great. They're homegrown. And Marcus Morris, you played in the Western Conference. If you win the Western Conference 2 years in a row, when I say great, yes, they need to finish it with a championship. But you're not a bum-ass team that's going to win the Western Conference 2 years in a row. Like, that's not happening. It's just not happening. So, again, Marcus Morris, we disagree. I respect your basketball acumen, but, yeah, I disagree. I think the Thunder have the ability. I think the Thunder are a great team and have the ability to be right up there with this young youth movement to be, you know, one of the great teams in the NBA for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, like, it fires me up, bro, because, like, yo, like that's these four dudes, like they scrap that you see it, they scrapping for that first ring. Like they really scrapping for that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then the refs are letting them play and all that. I don't know, bro. Like, I don't care about small market teams or anything versus big market teams. I want to see four teams get after it and they going for their first championship. That fires me up, just being a former basketball player. Like, you see it on me, like, yo, I love watching that because, like, you know, it's four teams, they clawing and scrapping for that first chip, bro. Like, it ain't got nothing to do with nothing else. Like, it's me versus you. And they playing hard. It's like you see all these comebacks. Guys are not laying down when they down 20. They coming back and winning. I don't know. If you don't enjoy this, you're not a real basketball fan, in my opinion. You ain't no hooper. You just a casual, like, I'll watch because the stars are playing. Like, yo, this what the game about. Got a bunch of guys that you may not know or don't watch a lot trying to put their name out there. That's what's going on with these four teams right here.
The funny thing about it is, their favorite players had to do the same thing that these four guys are trying to do. Whether it's Michael, Kobe, Magic, Bird, LeBron, Durant, Curry, Westbrook, whoever. Like, they had to make a name for themselves. So we didn't turn them off. So let's not turn these guys off. Let's give these guys an opportunity. Let's let these guys play basketball. Let's let them play offense, defense. Let's let the coaches coach. Let's let the players play. Let's let these guys make a name for themselves. I hope, obviously, again, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Anthony Edwards. One of these four guys will win their first ever championship. I'm assuming the Finals MVP, maybe other than Indiana, because Siakam might win it. But other than Indiana, Finals MVP will be one of those four guys. So let's celebrate them and let's celebrate great basketball, man. So again, Marcus Morris, respect your basketball acumen. You was on my Clippers. I picked you a couple years ago to go to the NBA Finals. So I'm a fan of yours. And Marcus Morris, just to give him some credit, top 3-and-D guy. Was physical and played basketball the right way. Yeah, he was a little, he gave you a little elbow here. He was a little, I'm not gonna call him dirty. I'll just say he was a nasty basketball player on the court. He was fighting for every inch on that court. So
it's physical.
So yeah, so there's no reason to, like I said, he was a very good player, good to very good player. There's no reason to put down these four teams because they don't have a LeBron, a Tatum, a Curry, a Durant, something like that. No, let these guys rock out and let these guys play and let them ball out. And again, I'm enjoying these playoffs, man. So keep hooping, fellas. Keep hooping.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. You're watching Highly Opinionated. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Highly Opinionated is sponsored by Wolves of War. In some of the episodes, you can see my co-host and Ross wearing a brand called Wolves of War. Wolves of War is our first sponsor, ladies and gentlemen, and we are so thankful to have those guys sponsoring Highly Opinionated. Thank you very much. The actual meaning of Wolves of War is that it represents having a strong path behind you through the battles of life. With the right people behind you, you can get through anything. You guys see the link for Wolves of War? Make sure you guys click on the link, shop, great apparels, t-shirts, sweatsuits, whatever you want, they have. Once again, Wolves of War. Make sure you guys go shop. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Highly Opinionated. As you can see, we have a special guest. the man, the myth, the legend, the biggest star in New York City that I know. It's no better time to get the man on the show than the present. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Jay to Highly Opinionated. Welcome to Highly Opinionated,
right.
Jay.
And I got the biggies on.
Oh, you missing, bro? It's a Coogee sweater, man. Come on, bro.
Yeah, man. Yo, I'm in Florida though, man. It's too hot for that Coogee.
I hear that. Man, we don't want you dying down there, bro. Not at all. Not at all.
Nah, man. It's like
Jay, bro. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I said it's about 90 degrees out here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
Well, it's good to have you on. Finally, good to have you on the show, Jay. We've been texting back and forth trying to make it work. So, bro, we happy to have you here. As always, bro, we give the guests an opportunity to shout anything out before we get started. So, is there anything you want to shout out before we get started?
First and foremost, New York Knicks. Bing bong. And of course, my New York Yankees, man. They broke my heart last year, but it looks like they made the adjustments and they're on a good pace right now.
Go Dodgers.
So Jay, just to let you know, I have a Dodgers fan on the show as my co-host, Jay.
Yes, sir.
So,
all respect, nothing but respect.
Let me ask y'all this before we get to the Yankees outlook, Jay. It's a big series coming up this weekend, man. It's a World Series rematch with the Yankees and the Dodgers. How you feel about that, man? Going back to LA where they had that crime scene at the Game 5.
I don't know, man. I still got PTSD from that. I still got PTSD from that series, bro. But it's gonna be fun. It's always fun when we out in LA, and I don't know. You know, Dodgers doing their thing too, man. I think right now our records are about the same. So, you know,
yes,
that energy is always gonna be there. I love it. And
the New York Yankees are 33-20. The LA Dodgers are 33-21. So basically the same identical records.
There you go. And their pitching is always tough. And the other day I thought I saw Ohtani throwing some bullpen sessions. So that's trouble. So yeah, this weekend gonna be lit.
You got the two best baseball players playing against each other, in my opinion. You have Aaron Judge, you have Shohei Ohtani. So yep. I usually don't watch a baseball series so early in the season. I usually wait till like All-Star because I'm a casual baseball fan. I usually wait to All-Star and I'll catch in. I'm gonna watch all three of these games because I think Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think they're gonna have it on national TV Saturday. I think it's on Fox, and then Sunday night it should be on ESPN. So I just gotta find a way to watch the Friday game. I'm definitely interested to watch this World Series rematch. Go ahead, JG.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the Dodgers and the Yankees are poised for a collision course once again in the World Series. Aaron, like you said, Aaron Judge is back on the tear like he usually is. It's a different team now, you know, since Juan Soto is no longer there, so it's a little bit different. But I feel like the Yankees still have, you know, everything they need to win the American and get back to the World Series. And for the Dodgers, there's no excuse. There are too many great players on this team, and the expectation is championship or bust. So anything less than that is a failed season, in my opinion. Like you said, Yamamoto, Sasaki, you know, the great pitching that they have. There's no excuse. They have to get back. They have to get back to the World Series at the very least, even if they don't win it.
And how's Sasaki? I haven't really been following up on the Dodgers. I know he started off a little shaky, but how's he been coming along? Has
Sasaki
he acclimated himself, or
he needs time. Sasaki's young. He's going to need time. I don't think he's quite there yet for, you know, the prospect that they've been talking about, which happens. You know, it's not the end of the world for him. It's not the end of his career, but what I love about the kid is that, you know, he cares about it. He loves it. There were clips of him, you know, when he got taken out, you know, he got a little passionate, got a little emotional because, you know, for me, like that's something you want to see in your young player, like how much it matters to him. So I think society's going to continue to, you know, to put in work. He's in a great system to get better. He's got great ones to watch in Ohtani and Yamamoto, among others. So I think he's going to be just fine.
Well, let me tell you this. I'm glad he ain't come to New York. Because ain't no crying in baseball, my dude. Ain't no crying in baseball.
New York is not forgiving in any sport. I get it. New York is not forgiving. It ain't for the weak.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Not,
It's definitely a series to look forward to.
No, it definitely is. Friday night, that series starts Friday night, Friday, May 31st. Friday, May 30th. That game will be at 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. Eastern time. That game will be on Apple TV. Saturday, that game is at 7:15. That game will be on Fox. And then Sunday, that game is at 7:15, and that game will be on ESPN2. So Yankees and Dodgers, Sunday Night Baseball World Series rematch. We all are looking forward to. So we spoke on your New York Yankees. Let's move forward to your New York Knicks. They have a big game 4 against Indiana.
You, man. Oh man, I get the chills, and all like stomach is all like messed up, and but I don't know. I got a good feeling about tonight. If we could just stick together, because I don't know, with this Knicks team, they show spurs of like miscommunication, and if you looked at the last game on Sunday, while our superstar was sitting down, you saw more versatility from people from the bench, and Cat got loose, and got hot, and basically won that game for this team, and kept the team alive, practically by himself. That man, I don't think the Pacers got an answer for him. When he decides to drive the ball in the paint, and when he gets hot from the outside, ain't no really. I don't think they ain't really stopping him. So if him and Brunson could both get hot, not get into that dumb foul troubles, and get everybody else involved, I think we're good tonight, and we tie this series back up. I think Indiana's in trouble, because now you bring the series back to New York tied 2-2, and then I like our chances. We cannot keep losing at home.
Yeah. Y'all play JG before you go. Y'all play better on the road. I think about 6-1, 7-1 on the road, and like 3-5 at home during the playoffs. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
But let me say this.
It makes absolutely no sense.
Hey Jay, I'm gonna give you my thought process, and JJ, I promise I'm gonna let you go after this. The New York Knicks, and Jay, I don't know your football allegiance. The New York Knicks at home at Madison Square Garden remind me of the Cowboys at AT&T Stadium. Like,
everybody
it's a show.
says that, yeah.
It's a show more than it is like a game. Like, think about Madison Square Garden is the only place where they lower the lights, where it's just on the court. Like, you're literally just watching the court. Like Jerry World. Like when you go to AT&T Stadium, you looking at, I'm like, God damn, look at the scoreboard, look at the seats, look at the sky. You're looking at everything but the actual game. You feel me? And I just feel like these players that come into the arenas, they like, oh, I'm gonna make my name here. I'm gonna make my name at Jerry World. I'm gonna make my name. Every basketball player, even players that can't play basketball, players like myself, if I could play in one arena and I ain't got no game, I would want to play at Madison Square Garden, because I know it's going to be on me. The lights are going to be on me. So,
yep.
I just wanted
Trust
to say
me,
that.
man. I'm a Knicks fan. I became a Knicks fan when I was like 9 years old, and I'm 46 years old. I'm from the Ewing era, so yeah, I know all about that. I know, Michael Jordan coming into MSG and dropping 55. Was it 50 or 55 when he came his second game back? Kobe doing his thing, as of late, Steph Curry and them, this kid Halliburton, he's at another level when he plays at the Garden, So it's true that whole, bright lights in New York, I think it works against this team.
Go ahead,
but let's
JJ.
see. They got to break that.
They do.
Yeah, it's been interesting that there's no team at home has won in this series. It's been all road wins so far. I think that's going to continue tonight. I think the Knicks are going to pull it out and take the series back to the Garden. But like you said, you can't keep losing at home. At some point, you got to to protect your home. And I think the Knicks are in prime position to really take control of this series and put that pressure back on the Pacers. But like I said to Josh before, Karl Anthony Towns has to be dominant. He's got to be the best player on the floor outside of Jalen Brunson, obviously, because I don't think they really have an answer for him at center. If Miles Turner gets into foul trouble, I think that begins to become a huge problem for the Pacers. So Cat definitely has to win that matchup, so to speak, for the Knicks to have a chance here.
Absolutely agree.
Let me ask y'all this. Obviously, okay, so Jay, you're a Knicks fan, so I'm assuming you liked and picked the Knicks to win the series. JG picked the Knicks to win the series. I picked the Pacers to win the series. So, do y'all think, and correct me if I'm wrong, would this be the first time? Because I actually think the Knicks will win Game 4, but the way I think this series is going to go, I think it'll be a 7-game series, and I think the road team will win every game in this series.
That for me.
Yeah, I mean, even one of y'all can go. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it got cut up there when you said that last piece.
I'm sorry. I think every road team. I think the road team will win every game in this series. Has that ever happened in the NBA playoffs before?
Damn, I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember that either. What about you, JG?
Not that I can recall. I think even if we had like a series like this where most wins came on the road, I think eventually the home team will win Game 7. So maybe it's a good sign that we have Game 7 coming our way because we have no idea how this is going to shake out.
Yeah, Jay, for me, I picked the Pacers to win, but I think this series will go 7 games because I just think they're evenly matched. Like, I think, like you said, the Knicks' advantage is Karl-Anthony Towns when he wants to be the advantage. The Pacers' advantage is pace and space and getting people involved and running and flowing when they want to do it. Think about this: Game 3, they scored 100 points. You could watch the game and realize, oh, the Knicks gonna win this game because it's in the Knicks ballpark. So for me, the magic number for the Knicks is 110. If the score is 110 and less, they can and possibly will win the game. If it's 115, 120, they're not winning the game because they don't have the offensive pieces to keep up with the Indiana Pacers, in my opinion, unless Cat, Jalen Brunson, and all Mikal Bridges, who we need to step up. Those guys, unless those guys, are balling their asses off, which kind of hard for 3 people to ball out all at the same time, all at the same time. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this, Jay. What do you think about Tom Thibodeau playing more guys in Game 3? Do you think that continues in Game 4 and for the rest of the series?
I think it has to continue because he saw what were the results. The results were good. When he played the other guys are fresher. They got their legs are fresher. If you look at Brunson looks a little tired.
He does.
I think he looks a little exhausted. And if you look at it, I think might be the first time they're this deep in the postseason. Because I think since Brunson's been on the team, I believe they've only been to the second round.
Yes.
Right? They've been eliminated the last few years.
Last year they went to the second round.
Yeah. So this is the first time, that they've been this far, this deep. So you could almost tell the exhaustion, so sitting them down, giving them that rest and giving the other guys a chance, I like Deuce McBride. I like when he's in the game, his defense especially, and he could get hot from downtown, and the other kid, Shamit, you could tell them guys are fresher. That worked. That formula worked. I think he could keep using it. He should keep using it.
Go ahead, JJ.
Yeah, use the bench Tom Thibodeau. Like let's be smart about this. I mean, it seems like he would learn after what happened last year. He literally ran this team into the ground where guys were dropping like flies. Josh Hart left the game with a freaking core injury or something like that, and then Brunson eventually goes down. Like that was just a combination of just game after game after game after game, just running these guys into the ground 48 minutes and everything in the playoffs. You have to use your bench to try to spell some minutes for these guys so they can be fresh at the most critical points in time, which we're in right now. The conference finals, first time since 2000. You need your best players to be out there.
I'm taking a step further. Last year, remember OG Anunoby with the hamstring. A hamstring gets worn down because you're on it too damn much. You're on it too damn long. That's usually when hamstrings get flare up and they get tight and they pop. So I agree with you, Tom Thibodeau. Listen, I'm going to make a joke, and this is not a joke, but I'm going to say something. Hopefully that's funny. Derrick Rose watched Game 3 and was like, damn, if he did that, I'd still be playing. Like, I would have never tore my ACL. If he would have took me out the game, I would have been fine. Listen, Tom Thibodeau, use your bench. Like, bro, Kenny Smith had the funniest line the other night. Tom Thibodeau wouldn't play 9 players in a baseball game. By the way, it's 9 players who start out on a baseball field. So like, come on, bro. Like, use your bench. Use them. Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns, use the bench. Let them spare them guys some minutes. We mentioned this. Pressure Achua. He's on the bench. He can give you 5 minutes. Come in, grab rebounds. Come in, take some hard fouls. Come in and set screens. Come in and do whatever. DeLon Wright came in and hit some big shots. Landry Shamet was a shooter. He's always a shooter. He can come in and knock down a couple shots, especially if he's hitting. Now, if he's not hitting, sit his ass down. But if they're playing how they were playing in Game 3, play the bench, Tom Thibodeau, and you will be fine. You will make Jay happy. You will make the rest of us happy because we'll be going back to New York on Thursday night, 8 o'clock on TNT. It will be a 2-2 series instead of it being 3-1. So I think Thibodeau needs to do that. And, yeah, pray. You got to pray for that. You got to hope that Tom Thibodeau does that. He continuously does that. Let me ask you this before we get out of here, Jay. Obviously, you're a Knicks fan. I feel like this is the best chance that you guys have of winning the championship since 1994 when you guys lost to the Houston Rockets in Game 7 at the Summit back in Houston.
Yeah, man.
What do you think?
I shed a tear. Let me tell you something, man. I shed a tear that night.
Nice.
I shed a tear that night when they lost. I was a freshman in high school.
Wow.
Back in man.
Y'all really lost the game. Y'all really lost the series in Game 6 when John Starks went like 3 for like 17. Wasn't that Game 6 where he went like 3 for 17 and Elijah Wan blocked the shot? That
was actually Game 7.
Game 7. Okay, well, yeah, there we go.
That was Game 7 in Houston.
In Houston.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, this is your best chance of winning the championship since 1994, being in that position, Game 7. What do you think the Knicks need to do to not only beat the Pacers, but in our opinion, I think we all can agree whoever wins the Eastern Conference will face the Oklahoma City Thunder in the finals. So what did the Knicks have to do to beat the Pacers to get to the finals, and what do the Knicks have to do to win the championship?
Oof. Man, up until now, I don't think coming into the postseason, a lot of people had the Knicks coming this far because we feel like we lost something from last year. With the trades, getting Bridges, and that whole chemistry, this team is still getting to feel each other. They're still filling each other out. What needs to happen is I think it comes more from their star players, playing up to the back, like we say, the back of their baseball cards, and Tibbs making the right coaching calls because he's also been sort of out-coached. By the coach from the Pacers,
Rick Carlisle.
Rick Carlisle. So it all comes to that all to me that all got to play. That all has to come into I can't find the words right now, but it's all got to come together. When you're destined to be the champion, you're destined, man. So. When you do, you do. So they'll find, I feel it's, that they're going to find a way. Once they get there, they should be able to find a way. Just like they did against Boston.
Go ahead, JJ.
No, I mean, I hear you on that. I'm pulling for the Knicks to go to the finals. I picked them to win in 7 because I enjoyed just the fun that Knicks fans are having right now. It's been a long time since you guys have gotten to the finals. And, a lot of people made fun of this team, thinking like, hey, New York fans are what they are, but they're a passionate fan base. And New York Knicks are a blue blood team in the NBA. So for me, I would enjoy it if the Knicks got the guy back to the finals, just for the nostalgia of the game. And I hope and it's probably going to look like it's probably going to be against Oklahoma City, so this series, I think this series, tonight's game is pivotal, as to who is going to the finals. And I think the Knicks are going to pull it out. But if they don't, then I can't. I don't really see a scenario where the Knicks come back from 3-1. But we'll see.
No.
We'll find out.
No. But then again, you never know.
Hey.
You never know.
Yeah. No, you never know.
Who was the last team as of recent? I think it was LeBron, one of the LeBron teams in Cleveland that were down 3-1 and came back and won the series.
Yeah, the stimulus package. Don't get me started with that. Don't get me started with that one.
Jay, we'll be here all night if you let John talk. If you let JG talk about that stimulus package that the NBA gave out before COVID-19 was even out.
Oh wow!
But I'll say this, and I'll say this about sports. Like it all has a tendency of balancing itself out. I'll say that because the NBA gave them a stimulus package, but the Warriors the year before that, the Cavaliers didn't have Kevin Love or Kyrie, so I feel like it balances itself out. But getting back to the Knicks and the Pacers, I just feel like JG, you are right, bro. Like the Knicks don't want to get down 3-1 because if they get down 3-1, it's pretty much over. The Knicks will win Game 5, but I think the Pacers will win Game 6. So we want a 2-2 even series. Let's go back to New York for Game 5 and let usually the win of Game 5 in a 2-2 series tie wins the series 73% of the time. So I'm agreeing with you guys. I think Karl-Anthony Towns has to play good. Brunson has to play good. Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. Guys, your guy Jay off the bench, Deuce McBride, got to come in, be instant offense, pick up 94 feet like he's been doing this series. And I think the Knicks will be fine. But again, Tom Thibodeau, use your bench, and your bench will help you. If you don't use your bench won't help you, and you'll run these guys into the ground, and this series will be over Thursday night.
Yep, I agree.
Jay, it was a privilege, bro, to have you on the show, man. We look forward to having you back on the show, my brother.
It was a privilege being here with you guys, man. Thank you for the opportunity to come on and share my passion of New York sports team and share my word, man. Thank you guys.
Hey, Jay, you coming back? You coming back, right?
Yeah, whenever you guys want. I mean, let me know with anticipation, and I'll be home in a more, in a better spot, better coverage or whatever, and we get to talk, and hopefully I'll be happy.
Hopefully your Knicks and your Yankees, man, have you in a position to be happy.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay, bro, we want to thank you for coming on Highly Opinionated. We look forward to having you back on, sir. Thank you for everything, bro. You are the best. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. You're watching Highly Opinionated. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Highly Opinionated is brought to you by Edibly Airy. Enjoy the heightened experience of THC edibles in a whole new way. At Edibly Airy, our freeze-dry edibles available in 100 milligram, 200 milligram, 300 milligram, 400 milligram will give you the buzz you crave with a flavor you won't forget. Available in 3 different flavors: watermelon sunset, tropical fruit, and very berry. To place orders, please visit the website at ediblyairy.com. While you're there at ediblyairy.com, use a promotion code. You guys see the promotion code on the screen. $ Highly Airy, $. Again, $ Highly Airy, $ for 20% off your first purchase. Follow us on IG at Edibly Airy for new product releases and monthly hookups. Must be 21 and over to purchase. Edibly Airy, the best freeze-dry edibles out. Go shop.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Dill's Bangin Breakdowns, and I am excited for this Blanchfield versus Barber fight in Las Vegas. It is going to be a good one just because I really do enjoy Blanchfield and Barber. Both those girls, top-notch, top women's flyweight, in the title rankings for both of them. Honestly, I don't even know where to start with them. First off, the whole card they got going on this weekend is iffy because the only ranked fight on the card is Aaron Blanchfield and Macy Barber. If you're going to start a 4-weekend fight card event off, you better start it off with a bang. Next week the weekend after this we got Sean O'Malley, and I would just start this month of summer and UFC Fight Week coming up. I would have started it off with a bang. This is not the way I would have started it. I'm still going to watch, don't get me wrong. And some of these guys and women on this card are pretty heavy hitters. There's a women's fight on the prelims. Ketlin Vieira versus Macy Chiasson. That's a pretty good fight. Ketlin is a pretty hard hitter. I'm a fan of her. She goes hard. She's got beat up by Caitlin Harrison, but Caitlin Harrison is fighting for the belt soon, so I don't know what to say about that. But I'd still keep a lookout on Ketlin. She's a pretty hard hitter, good interviews, big heavy hands. But the chick she's fighting, Macy's a pretty hard hitter too. Like I said though, the whole card is pretty much watched. It's just something to do on a Saturday night, I guess, just to get you pumped up for this O'Malley versus Merab fight. But the Aaron Blanchfield fight, Macy Barber, I'm definitely going to tune into. Aaron Blanchfield, she beat up Rose Namajunas her last fight. She lost to Manon, but Manon is going crazy right now. Aaron Blanchfield beat up Santos right before that. So Aaron Blanchfield's never not hot. She's always on a streak. She's always ready to scrap. She's always going to give you 5 rounds. You better not give her 3 because she's quick and she likes to end fights. Hard hitter. But now looking at Macy Barber's record, Macy Barber's on a streak right now. She's on a 4-fight win streak, and she beat up Ribas. I'm a big fan of Ribas. She beat up Surimiana last fight. She's on a 5-fight win streak. She's on a 6-fight win streak. Macy Barber is on a 6-fight win streak. So if the odds aren't here in her favor this weekend, I don't know. I'm definitely tuning into that fight. Right before that, you got 2 dudes also. Poland versus Slovakia. Gamrot actually is a pretty hard hitter. I'm a fan of him. Let's see, he's coming off of a loss to Dan Hooker, but 2 wins before that. He beat up Fiziev, and he also beat up Junior Dos Anjos, which I wouldn't even say anything about that, but beating up Fiziev's pretty good. Dan Hooker, losing to him. Dan Hooker's about to be in a title fight soon. Whoever wins coming up with them. That's a good fight to look out for, though, too. The prelims on that main card. Not a bad one to look out for. He's fighting a guy named Klein, I guess you could say, who is coming off a 5-fight win streak pretty much also. Damn, these guys are going to be ready to throw down. Like I said, though, this card is not my favorite. It'll do. I'm definitely going to tune into the Aaron Blanchfield, Macy Barber. Maybe the prelims for a little bit. The Trevin Giles versus Andres Gustafsson. That's a pretty good one, too. I know Trevin's pretty good. But other than that, I'm still going to tune in, guys. I know all you guys better tune in. Giles has only lost to pretty good people, too. He's only lost to Pratas, who's a pretty good fighter. He just fought 2 weekends ago. I'll tune in. I'll tune into him. You know I have to for you guys, so that's cool. Dude, watch out for this guy in the lightweight division, Balogi Okai. He's from Belgium. And that dude looks like he is a running back in the NFL. He's coming off a loss, but that guy looks like he is a running back. He got submitted in his last fight. He's not known for a grapple game anyway. He's just a stocky little unit. That'll be a good one to watch, too. But other than that, these guys better show out something for me to talk about him next week, because I don't know what we're going to talk about next week other than this O'Malley card if nobody does well in this card besides Aaron Blanchfield and Macy Barber. UFC, we'll see about that one. What do we got? Also, we got a couple chatter between John Jones and Tom Aspinall. I think Tom Aspinall's talking trash to John Jones. When's he not going to stop talking trash to John Jones? He wants a title fight. He doesn't want to be a interim champ. I wouldn't want to be an interim champ also. Kind of disrespectful if you're asking me. It's like just teasing him with the belt. Jones doing whatever he wants, and Tom can't do nothing about it besides fight somebody else if the UFC presents it to him to either defend the interim champion or go up for the title. There's no other thing. But Tom don't even care about that interim champ stuff. I don't care about it either. We know Tom Aspinall's next for that title, for that heavyweight title. I'm pretty sure you got everybody talking about it. Dan has said it's going to happen soon. It better happen soon. I'm also excited for this Khamzat Chimaev fight. If Khamzat Chimaev beats Duplessis and takes this belt, that's going to be a crazy mix-up for that division. The middleweight division is already stacked as it is, and if Khamzat beats him, Khamzat's already beat Robert Whittaker. He's already beat Sean Strickland. He doesn't want to fight Izzy, I'm sure, because he's going to get taken down the whole time. He's beaten Paulo Costa. He's a problem in that division. If Dricus Duplessis isn't doing everything he can now to train for the grappling part, he's not going to know what to do. I'm still excited for that fight. This is, like I said, we have a month of fights coming up from starting this Saturday, going all the way until July. And then July kicks us off for another insane month of fights coming up too. Like I said, that end of this summer, Duplessis versus Chimaev is going to be crazy. The Holloway versus Poirier 3, we know that. And the Topuria Oliveira fight is going to be crazy too. We already know that. Like I said, crazy fights. UFC's crazy this summer. You got International Fight Week coming up. Newark, New Jersey fights. You got in the States. You got out of the States. We got Tennessee. Yeah, crazy. I'm looking forward to it, guys. But enough about UFC. I've been tuning into the playoffs, NBA, and I don't even really watch basketball. Wasn't really even into the basketball, really. There's usually a lot of crybabies, in my opinion, in the NBA. A lot of fouls being flopping, fouling, bitching to the refs. You don't really see that too much in NFL. You can't do it in UFC because they're just going to tell you to fight or get knocked out. There ain't no bitching. But I have been watching these series, and the New York Knicks versus the Pacers tonight, Game 4. It's at Indy. Indy's up 2-1. Knicks been going crazy, though. I'm a big fan of the Knicks, so close to us also, being not too far. Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, they all been going crazy. The bench has been going crazy. I think in this one, the Knicks are going to come back. I hope they do and take this in the next couple games. I'm tuning in for that one tonight. And then the Timberwolves Thunder game. What a comeback. I hope the Timberwolves come back. I really like Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, Rudy, all them guys. Big fan of them. Crazy plays last night by all these guys. Points, Jalen Williams going crazy. I think, like I said, I hope the Timberwolves come back. They are down 3-1 in this series. I hope it's going to be the Timberwolves and the Knicks in the finals. That'd be pretty fun. I've been tuning in, like I said. A lot of sports going on. Boxing coming up, too. Let's go, guys. I'm excited. Let's go with the summer of sports and action and fun. That's my breakdown. That's my time. Thank you, guys. I will see you next week.
Dylan, my guy, you are the best. Can't wait to have you back on the show next week, my brother. Salute. John, as always, bro, we end the show with the NBA playoffs. So, obviously, we're down to the conference finals. Let's start off with the series that's presumably over. The Western Conference Finals, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're up 3-1 on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Game 5 will be Wednesday night at 8:30. Back in Oklahoma City, that game will be televised on ESPN. We both picked the Thunder in this series, right?
Yeah, we did.
So I picked them in 7. I think we both picked them in 7 too.
Yep.
I would be shocked if this series goes to 7. So the question to you is this: does this series end in 5 or does it end in 6?
I think it's over. It's a tall task for this Minnesota team to go back into Oklahoma City and force a Game 6 back home. Would it totally shock me if Ant Edwards went thermonuclear and found a way to do it? Probably not. But I don't see it happening here. They have absolutely. And look, Minnesota played a great game. Like, I think it's when you look at the stats and look at Ant's numbers. No, it doesn't look great from a stat perspective. But if you watch that game, he was double teamed every time he drove the ball. Sometimes triple teams. He was making the best play he could make each and every time. That's what you saw DiVincenzo, Nickeil Alexander-Walker lead the team with 23 points and 21 respectively. You saw Jaden McDaniels contribute. You saw Naz Reid contribute. Julius Randle was nowhere to be found. I'm more disgusted with him versus Anthony Edwards because at least Ant was trying. He was trying to make plays out there. There were times where you didn't know Julius Randle was even out there. So, like, and you need your number 2 guy, and he's got to be better than that. And he's capable of being better than that. But for me, it's like, Ant made all the right plays. Guys, the bench stepped up. But Minnesota, the thing that was killing them this entire series was turnovers and offensive rebounds. When you're a team that gives up 20 offensive rebounds and commits over 20 turnovers, you're not going to win that game. It's amazing that they only lost by 2. But because of the contributions from the bench, that's why the game looked like the way it did. It was Ant making all the right plays and guys knocking down shots that night. But you can't – I don't know if you can count on that going in for Game 5 in Oklahoma City. So I'd be shocked if Game 5 doesn't end with Oklahoma City beating the Minnesota Timberwolves handily and getting back to the NBA Finals for the first time since KD, Russ, and James Harden.
And that was the year of 2012 where they lost to the Miami Heat in 5 games. I agree with you. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder will beat down Minnesota in Game 5. I think we picked Oklahoma City in 7. So Minnesota just was a bad matchup. They turned the ball over too much. And with this Oklahoma City team, let me say this. I don't think this is one of the best defensive teams I've ever seen. Maybe in years down the line we can say that. But this Thunder team, man, they got some piranhas on that defense end. Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, the third team All-NBA player. You got Caruso coming off the bench. You got Kyron Williams. You got Jalen Williams, the other Jalen Williams, big body guy. And then one of my favorites, Casey Wallace. I mean, he was a defender at Kentucky. So he just brought that right to the NBA. And they just come at you in waves with defense. So I think that those waves of defenders got to Anthony Edwards because you go from Lou Dort, then you get switched on, you have Jalen Williams. Then you get switched on, now you got Wallace. Then you get switched on, then you get Caruso. Then you beat them. You beat all four of those guys. You go to the basket, you got Chet Holmgren standing there. Like, that's a lot to deal with. That's a lot to deal with in a short amount of time, in a short time frame to have the ball to try to score. But their length, their athleticism, and they're young. So it's not like they're going to get tired. They're young. So for me, I think the Thunder win in 5. It's a great season for Minnesota. I didn't think they'd get back to the Western Conference Finals. But, yeah, I think the Western Conference Finals will be over Wednesday night back in Oklahoma City. Now let's go to the Eastern Conference Finals where Game 4 of the Knicks and the Pacers. The Pacers are currently leading 2-1. Game 4 is Tuesday night, 8 o'clock on TNT. Game 5 will travel back to New York on Thursday night. That game is also at 8 o'clock on TNT. So the question I have for you is this. You picked the Knicks to win. I picked the Pacers to win the series. So I'm assuming you're not off that. I'm not off my pick of the Pacers. I'm assuming you like the Knicks. Okay, fine. So when we go back to New York for Game 5, will the series be tied?
I believe it will be tied. I said this on Club JG before. I was way more confident with the Knicks getting back into this series and potentially tying it than I was with Minnesota. I saw a more competitive game with the Knicks. First of all, I could see like little things here and there. Like if they just fix this, if Cat does more of this, then they could win it. I think in Game 3 they found something with Cat going against Miles Turner. Their depth at center is a question mark. I think that's a chink in their armor with the great team defense that Indiana plays. Also, Aaron Nesmith is questionable right now with an ankle injury, so we're not sure how he's going to look for game 4. So that's going to be a big deal, especially with perimeter defense still with Jalen Brunson. Karl-Anthony Towns still has to be a better defender. I think inserting Mitchell Robinson in that starting lineup instead for Josh Hart was a very good move by Tom Thibodeau. And now he's starting to actually go to his bench. He's bringing in Landry Shamet, bringing in DeLon Wright, because those guys can pick up full court and put some pressure on Indiana for a change, and spelling Jalen Brunson so he doesn't have to spend so much energy on the defensive side of the ball, allowing him to do what he does on offense, allowing Karl-Anthony Towns to be what he is on offense. Those guys are good defenders, at times great defenders, to at least put some pressure on the Pacers. So I think a combination of that and my belief in Jalen Brunson as a closer, I think the Knicks will it's going to be another tight close game because Indiana, they went up 20 on the Knicks, so it's not that they can't score, but I think that if Cat can continue to win his battle against Miles Turner and get him in foul trouble, that could spell a problem for the Indiana Pacers. And I think the Knicks will walk out of here bringing the series back to the Garden 2-2.
Josh Hart, Miles McBride, DeLon Wright, Landry Shamet. Tom Thibodeau played. McBride and Hart usually always play, but he played DeLon Wright 13 minutes in Game 3. He played Landry Shamet 11 minutes in Game 3. I'm looking at this roster. They got Precious Achiuwa. I feel like Precious Achiuwa can come in and give you about 5 or 7 good minutes.
Why not?
So, exactly. Why not? So, I picked Indiana to win this series. I think they will win this series. But I'm hoping for a basketball sake that this series goes 7, just for the nostalgia, just for the everything that comes with it. You got Indiana, New York, their rivals, played back in the 90s with Reggie Miller, Patrick Ewing, John Starks, Rick Smits, those guys. So I'm still riding with the Pacers, but I think the Knicks win Game 4. I think we go back to New York tied 2-2. For me, I think if Tom Thibodeau sticks to playing the bench, I think the Knicks will have a good chance to win Game 4. Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson, they cannot come out the game. They need to come out the game fast. Come out to start the game fast. They can't be half-step, because if they get down 20 in Game 4, it's over. The Pacers ain't going to lose this game. And let me say this. Tyrese Hollenberg, his father name, John Hollenberg, right? That's his father name?
Yeah.
John Hollenberg will be back in the arena for Game 4. So I feel like that'll give Hollenberg a little bit more energy, because he'll be playing in front of his dad. His dad won't be courtside. He'll be in a luxury suite, but still, I feel like that'll give Hollenberg a little bit more energy. So the Knicks can't get down no damn 20 points again in game 4 like they did in game 3 and think they'll win the game. They will not win the game.
Right.
But I think it'll be tied 2-2, and I'm looking forward. If it's tied 2-2, it's the best of 3, best 2 out of 3. So I think this series has 7 games written all over. For me, I thought it before the series started, and I'm still watching. I think it has 7 games written all over. Because if you watch, the Knicks really could be up 2-1.
They easily could.
Easily could. So, and the Pacers could say, man, we could be up 3-0. So it swings in these games, man. So I definitely think we'll be 2-2 after game 4 in Indianapolis. Do you think they need that performance that they got from game 3 from Karl-Anthony Towns in game 4? Or is it just a collaborative effort? Everybody can just step up and play that role. Because without Karl-Anthony Towns in that 20-point fourth quarter, the Knicks more likely than not would have lost that game.
Well, right there, I think you answered your own question. It's got to be Karl-Anthony Towns. He's got to win his matchup. He has to dominate. You know, he cannot be kitty cat like you call him in the past. Like, he has to dominate. Like, he has to like, you know, be a weapon on the floor for the Knicks, but he also has to defend. That's the thing. The Pacers are targeting him and Jalen Brunson defensively because when they're on the floor together, it was an interesting stat. They're -10 on the floor together according to the analytics. They're +10 when it's just Cat out there, and then in the +15 when it's just Jalen Brunson out there, which is insane. But it's like you got to have those 2 guys on the floor. So I think, like I said before, Mitchell Robinson being in there as an anchor defensively, playing your bench for guys that want to pick up a full court and play defense, I think really helps that plus-minus with Brunson and Towns on the floor. But I know what I want to get from Brunson, but him alone is not going to be enough to take on this Pacers team. Karl-Anthony Towns has to be dominant. He has to be a factor early. He cannot, like you said, they can't come out flat. You get up 20 on the Pacers again, they are not going to be that undisciplined to let that happen again. They will keep their foot in the gas, and they could possibly blow them out of the water if they allowed it to happen again. Yeah,
Rick Carlisle won't let that happen again. Championship coach, like you mentioned earlier in the show, championship veteran seasoned coach, seen it all from playing days to now coaching. The Pacers won't get up by 20 and lose game 4. So I'm agreeing with. I'll also say I have called him kitty cat, but in moments he's playing like a big cat, and that's what he needs to play like. He needs to play like that from here on out, big cat and not kitty cat. If he plays like big cat, the Knicks will win game 4. But he needs to play like a big cat. But I think his teammates need to come along. The OG Ananobis, the Josh, the Bridges, like McBride.
Mikal Bridges, 4 first-round picks the Knicks gave up for him. We need more.
McBride, the guys are coming out the bench. Landry Shamet, come in and play your role. Hit timely shots. If you do that to go along with what Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson can do, the Knicks should be fine in game 4. Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock on TNT. Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals, Wednesday night, 8:30 on ESPN. Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals returns back to Madison Square Garden, New York City. That will be Thursday night, 8 o'clock on TNT. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for watching episode 39 of the Best Sports Show out, Highly Opinionated. For the best producer in the game, Ross. For the best co-host in the game, JG. Ladies and gentlemen, you make sure you like, subscribe, and follow the Club JG podcast. JG, before we get out of here, let them know what you got brewing on coming up for the Club JG podcast, my brother.
Yeah, this week I might be having another special guest, and he's a former NBA player. I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave that announcement to come a little bit later on this week.
Sprinkling breadcrumbs. I love it, brother. I learned. Highly opinionated. We learn, and I wouldn't say steal. We adapt from the best. Look forward to that Club JG podcast episode coming out this week, brother. For the best co-host in the game, JG, I'm merely Josh. We appreciate you for watching. We'll see you next week.